Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, I thought I'd better do the most recent sort of tour around the room, just explaining poses and stuff before I go and change it all again, because just recently, since getting the latest Trick or Treat Studios mask, which I haven't done anything to it yet, it's still just completely stock, I want to take both those life-size masks and maybe put them on this middle shelf here together. I just think this mask in particular, the 2018, I've been looking at it from this height for quite a while. I love it there, but I think it will look really cool slightly higher up. So I might, once I've filmed this, take apart this section here. Or I don't know, maybe you guys will let me know in the comment section. You'll be like, don't do it, it looks good. Drop a like on the video if you can. Help the channel out a little bit. And leave me a comment, it's always good to hear from you. But I'll get started over here with the Predators. So with the Predator section, I reposed everyone. And I did a video on this situation here on the channel as a separate video, but he doesn't actually come with sort of splayed open hands like that. They actually belong to the elder Predator, but you'd never know from this angle. I mean, they just look like Predator hands, so he's able to do that cool roar. So he's just perched up there looking down. Obviously he's got the unmasked look now. He's been rocking the mask for a long time. But that's such a good head sculpt under there, it's a shame to hide it under the mask. Moments like this, I'm thinking to myself, you should have waited until it was daylight to film this, because you can't even see his eyes right now, but they're in there. There you go. That's a great sculpt, great details. Always love the wolf. Total badass when it comes to the Predator design. And then over here, got Mr. Elder. I haven't changed much with him. I just literally had him kind of raising his fist like that, and I wasn't thinking of that like a yay, you know. He's not like celebrating. That's like a kind of hold your position thing, you know. He's out in front and he's just saying, you know, pause, set your ass on hold, I think I see something up ahead, let me go check it out. I'm the only one qualified to do it because I'm the Elder. There he is, the Elder. And over here we got Mr. City Hunter holding up a skull and spine. That was actually a surprise that he's still holding onto that, because when I tried to get him to hold onto it originally, he just wasn't doing it. But then suddenly it just stayed in place, and I thought, right, just gently put him back on the shelf. And hopefully by the time I film the next tour video, he'll still be holding the skull, which he is. That looks awesome. Look at that. Very nice. And the big quarter scale NECA original Predator. It's obviously the masked version. Did heavily weather all of this, and he's very awesome. That is the Predator section, accented quite lovely by the Alien vs Predator original comics up there. The absolutely awesome artwork, and the Predator comics just sort of continue along the wall. Absolutely badass. That is how the Predator section looks at the moment. Here is Mr. Big Chap Alien in the original Alien film, and Ripley, both Hot Toys figures, and both from the original Alien film. And just got my VHSs in the background there. Love the front covers. And really do hope that Hot Toys do eventually revisit this particular Alien. I certainly wouldn't be opposed to that. I just think, you know, toughen up the skin a bit, and maybe tweak the face, or whatever you want to call it, you know, the whole Alien, you know, the mouth, everything needs a little bit of a tweak, but it is still a fantastic looking piece. I mean, you can't deny it when you look at it right there. And Ripley is an awesome figure as well. Incredible likeness. I really love it. Very iconic. So obviously the Xenomorph is, you know, set up nicely beside the Predators, or their official name, which I know how to say it, but I know I'm going to screw it up. I don't want to. Well, was it Yatuja? Something like that. Their original, you know, their actual. It's like Xenomorph is the, you know, the technical term. Anyway. Over here we have the Cool Models 1/6 scale Werewolf, which, sorry about Mr. Evil Dead getting in the way. This whole horror section coming up is a little bit busy looking. There's a lot going on, but I kind of love the way it's all just kind of together like this, because you just see there's just a lot going on. Sometimes it's nice when you look somewhere and there's just something everywhere you look. You know, you just look somewhere and you think, oh wow, look at that. Oh wow, look at that. Oh wow, look at that. It just keeps going. But there is the awesome American Werewolf bust. I think I mentioned before, but I need to go in with some Sculpty clay and just do some flames for those candles there. And there's that awesome VHS style American Werewolf in London Blu-ray. Dog Soldiers, my favorite horror film. Even as much as a Michael Myers fan as I am, I actually, that's my number one. Dog Soldier. I love werewolves, and there's not that many really good werewolf films. In fact, the only one missing from this is The Howling. It's just I don't have any collectibles of The Howling, so I hope NECA one day do a Howling werewolf. It would be so cool if they did. Just imagine the ultimate figure packaging as well would just be, I really do hope NECA do some kind of werewolf stuff. Apparently the new Conjuring film, the next one anyway, is rumored to be about a werewolf. So, and I've seen like a little teaser image, and it does look like it's going to be this kind of bipedal, running on its hind legs kind of beast werewolf, which is just my favorite kind. That's why, I love American Werewolf in London. It's incredible. Best transformation scene, obviously. And just a great film. Always a classic. But I do prefer the wolf kind of running on hind legs, but with like a wolf head. It's just terrifying, and that's exactly what you get in Dog Soldiers. Wow. Yeah, I was just looking at the artwork. I really do love that. But the interesting thing about the whole werewolf movie thing is, I was thinking about this the other day while I was waiting for my dinner to cook, and I was thinking, like in American Werewolf in London, when David turns into the beast, he doesn't remember anything. It's like the animal takes over and he's just kind of on sleep mode. He'll just wake up somewhere, naked and think, what the hell happened last night? Whereas the werewolves in The Howling and Dog Soldiers, they are still, the human is still there behind the eyes of the wolf. They know what they're doing. They can toy with their victims. Like in Dog Soldiers, there's a really twisted bit where one of the, spoiler alert, one of the soldiers gets taken away by the werewolves, and you think he just gets killed. But then like 20 minutes later, there's a scene where he goes to the barn to try and get the Jeep, and the werewolf has been sitting there with the guy that got ripped out the window. They thought he was all dead, but it was just sitting there in a barn, just toying with him for like 20 minutes. Imagine how terrifying that would be. Anyway, and then it just bites his head off, as you do, and throws it at the guy trying to take the Jeep. Anyway, watch Dog Soldiers if you haven't seen it. That film right there is stone cold awesome. My favorite horror movie ever made. Never forget the first time I watched that, man. I had to walk home afterwards through a little brief bit of foresty area, and it was intense. And there's the Sota Toys Dog Soldiers figure, which I'm going to leave packaged, because I've owned two in the past, and whenever I take them out, eventually the legs just break because of the top heavy nature of the piece. And there is Pennywise by NECA. That's the GameStop bloody version. I just love the way he's munching on the arm and rubbing his tummy. It's really sick. He's like, he's loving it. Chucky's over here doing his thing. Got quite a few Chuckies now. You got the only head that I didn't display was the more recent kind of look for Chucky, where he's all stitched up. But these will do for now. And plus NECA have brought out a whole bunch more Chucky figures, like the Tiffany and Chucky and Bride of Chucky and all that stuff. Let's just put it on the list. But there's another Pennywise. I love that one. That's the look. That's the head sculpt I wish they had given you with the quarter scale version from NECA. I was really looking forward to getting that quarter scale figure, but I saw it only comes with one head. And it's just a really sort of just normal, neutral kind of, well, not neutral, but he's smiling with the teeth showing. But I've never really liked that kind of buck tooth silly look. I mean, I love it when he goes crazy like this. I think he looks amazing, and I just wish they had given you a second head sculpt. It's like with the NECA quarter scale 2018 Myers, the 7-inch Ultimate figure came with two heads, mind you. I guess that's, the hint is in the name. It's an Ultimate figure. That's been sort of reworked by me, by the way. I repainted the mask and tried to hide the nappy look. It's pretty sick. But yeah, it's a damn shame about Pennywise in quarter scale. I just wish they had given you a more aggressive option for the head sculpt, and I would have been all over it, because I would have loved to have that in quarter scale, but just not interested with the head it comes with. It doesn't do anything for me. But anyway, there's a NECA figure right there. These are all NECA figures. do love the company. Don't mean to bitch about the Pennywise thing, because, you know, I always love to blow steam up NECA's butt. It's just an awesome, awesome company. They really do look after the horror fans, man. It is true. Speaking of NECA, there is a whole bunch more NECA action. That is the quarter scale Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 Freddy's Revenge Freddy figure. I mean, it just looks insane, man. They absolutely killed this one, man. I mean, look at it's you know, it's like a hard plastic or a soft plastic, whatever you want to call it, kind of sweater, but it's molded or sculpted so well and painted so well. The head sculpt's amazing. Can't really see the eyes, but you don't really have to, man. He's just pure evil in this one. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. That's when Freddy was at his most. You know, he wasn't messing around, man. There's no jokes. He just snatching asses in that scene at the party. There's another part 2. That's the retro cloth Freddy's Revenge by NECA, and over here the ultimate 7-inch NECA Freddy from Freddy's Revenge, going for the old "You're all my children now" kind of vibe. He's looking good. No, and then I love this pose. He's the puppet master. Or, you know, there's a bunch of jokes here. There's a bunch of, you know, different reasons he could be doing this. I've got a few ideas, but I'm sure you do too. I think it looks really cool. I know there's some, whatchamacallit, resemblance jokes in there as well for the glasses, and he does remind me of someone. I don't want to say who, maybe you guys will know in the comments, but he was a musician. And yeah, man, the sweater, the custom sweater, that was I forget the name, found them on Facebook. Really does change the piece, made it really, really good. I changed his pants, got a nice little custom base there, and that's my Freddy section, looking good. Got my little Jason section. That's the sideshow Jason. I need to go in and change the color of the shirt and the pants. Not really happy with the color, doesn't really look movie accurate to me. I do like the nice kind of shine I put on his hockey mask. That should be a little bit bigger, I think, as well. But what are you gonna do? I'm pretty casual when it comes to Jason, really. I just needed to have him in the lineup. You can't really have Freddy and Chucky and Myers and Pennywise and not have a Jason. And then I know people say, you know, how can you not have a Leatherface or a Pinhead? But yeah, if I was gonna have to choose, I'd go with Leatherface over the Pinhead. Pinhead's awesome design, but those films are I'm alright. See, I like Myers because, well, I don't know, there's a mystique. Mystique's a powerful thing, and the ones I've seen, apart from that one right there, Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie, that is very brutal. But the original Halloween, there's like barely a drop of blood in that film, if any. And the 2018 one, which I really do love, obviously there is a couple of really, really gory bits, but there's nothing too sick in there. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, very casual when it comes to Jason. Yeah, so there he is. I do have a couple more NECA pieces scattered about the place, probably behind that curtain over there. But there you go. I need to fix them. Need to change the color of the clothing. But over here, we have the Gremlins, the Ultimate Gremlins by NECA. Back to NECA again. They do it well. They do it well. Here it is. I love the packaging, man. It just, having that awesome big poster behind him, it just suits these figures so well. Sometimes a really sort of distracting box can sort of take away from the piece in front of it, but this just all goes together so well. I think it's just very 80s. It's proper nostalgia, memories for me. It's like my favorite Christmas movie, this and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and a few others obviously, but yeah, Gremlins is the ultimate Christmas film for me. And I love these figures, man. Look at them. They are just awesome. They really are. I mean, they absolutely, how can they get better than this? And you know they will, because 10 years ago I remember looking at stuff like this and thinking, oh wow, it's amazing, how's it ever going to get better? And then it really, really does. They're always improving, just techniques and paint apps and all that stuff. I'm talking about all these companies, not just NECA. They're always improving as well, but you know, it's just interesting over the years seeing the little changes and the kind of level of quality and likeness and what we have now. It's nuts. And here is Vampirella's little section, and they're looking awesome. I did repose them, as you can see. Last time you saw them, they were very much just standing up straight, museum pose style, and that just shouldn't be the case when you're rocking these Firesin bodies, because they can do anything. Look at that. This one over here is just a stunning piece. And I just got it just chilling on that little throne of skulls. Well, just a little mini mountain of skulls, or whatever you want to call it, a hump of skulls. She looks good though. There's no denying it. This one over here, the head sculpt is actually the Queen of the Vampires head sculpt by the same company, but she isn't actually a Vampirella figure. I just really wanted to rock this head sculpt. I like the hair, I like the drop of blood coming down from the side of her mouth. And she's just a slightly different version of Vampirella. They both got a really high quality outfit. What little of it there is. But it is like it's proper high quality. Let me just... I'm trying to find a part to actually zoom in on because there's very little. But you've got the beautiful gem there. I ordered a second gem outfit from eBay and just rocked 2 of them. You really just need 1, but I got 2. So there it is. Technically I got 3. Actually I got 4 if you count the big ass statue down there. The Vampirella is just an icon, rocking since early 60s, 70s, I'm not sure, but it's been a long time. Here is Robocop looking absolutely awesome in that classic kind of Robocop shooting pose. May not be exactly right, but from this angle right here, it looks pretty good. And there is Sam Raimi Spider-Man by Hot Toys up there chilling. He hasn't really got anywhere to be, so because this box is gorgeous, but this box is huge, and it would just take up too much space on the shelf, so I just have him up there just chilling. He's just doing his thing, but I hope Hot Toys redo this one, because that would pull me back into that superhero game. Definitely would love that suit. That's my favorite one. But Robocop, man, that is... Look at that. That is crazy. It's like they just shrunk him down. It's absolutely perfect. I mean, well, I want to get really technical. The color of the armor may not be 100% accurate, but I guess it will just depends on how you light this thing. You can get it to look a lot closer just with the right kind of lighting, but I just got regular old warm bulbs blasting his ass right now, so that's how he is. That's how we do it. And here we have the 1/6 scale Terminator 1 and 2 Arnies. Now, these are the only 2 I really need. I would like to, you know, maybe one day try and get that DX13, or, well, I think that's really the only one. Maybe get the Tech Noir back again. I don't know. I ain't got room to do that anyway, but, you know, in an ideal world, one day, there'll probably be ridiculous prices by then. Well, it might be ridiculous prices now, I'm not sure, but I haven't changed the pose on the quarter scale Endo, which is just a ridiculous feat of design and execution. It's just, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. James Cameron, I believe, was the one who did the original sketch, and then it was up to Stan Winston and his guys to make it happen, and they did. And it's just incredible. And it's even more incredible when they make figures of it that actually every single little piston and joint moves like a person. I mean, every little joint in that finger moves. It's not just like, it's every little joint. It's crazy. All those little, it's, I don't know. God, how did they do it? How did they do it? Yeah, full respect for, you know, anyone who recreates this, all the different companies that have done it. But, you know, I mean, statues are one thing that's amazing in itself, but a figure that moves and can do anything, basically. I mean, remember when this was first released and the blogger pictures came out, and it really can do basically anything as far as, you know, that a human could do. Pose-wise, this thing can do it. This figure, it's very impressive. That's the MMS 117 by Hot Toys. That's it always sticks in my head, that model number, or whatever you want to call it, the series number, or you know, the MMS 117. It's a classic piece. I prefer this over the DX10, I think it was. This one's got the kind of synthetic leather rather than the actual real leather that they used on the DX10, which I know obviously real leather's better, but it was really tight on his arms and really tight on the legs, and I just didn't like that. The MMS 117 here with the synthetic leather actually fits a little bit. It's just a little bit of wiggle room in there, so you can actually pose him, and, you know, it's not too much of a pain in the butt to do. I think that is an amazing looking piece. We're still as a fantastic head sculpt, and obviously the fact that I love this look where just the all black and the shades. If the eyes or the sculpt was dated looking, then the shades would conceal that, but I don't think this does look dated at all. Let me go ahead and try and get his glasses off. Yep. Yeah, I still think it's a pretty sick sculpt. Yeah. I like it. I can't remember if they actually called this the cop shootout version, or was it just the battle damage version? Is that what they call it? Yeah, battle damage version, that makes sense. So anyway, I have just changed the pose a little bit, got him walking forward, holding both the guns out, like he would be able to, because he is that underneath the skin. So he'd be able to shoot that shotgun in that position and not break his wrist. He could just, yeah, he could tear it up. It's an awesome looking piece. Absolutely. It's quite an intimidating look for him, just trudging through. There it is, there's my little 80s and 90s sci-fi classic little section. Very happy with that. That is that shelf taken care of. I do think it looks good. I think that pose with Freddy there just really, you know, there's a lot of life to that. And it makes you laugh, but it's also creepy, and the proportions and the sort of scale of him, it looks very Robert Englund, you know, kind of Freddy kind of posture and just attitude and sense of humor. So there's enough terrifying part 2 Freddy's Revenge, no joke kind of vibes coming from these guys, so he can lighten the mood a little bit, I thought, you know. He looks awesome, loving it. Alright. We shall now move on to... Well, we'll come back to more horror stuff. I don't want to overdo it with the horror just yet. Let's have a look at some of the comic book and video game guys on the shelf over here. I really am in a bit of a dilemma with space as usual. That's why I was selling quite a few pieces recently. And there's still actually a few pieces in storage up in the loft up here, just to kind of free up some of the shelf space. I mean, not every Batman is here, and not every Joker is here, I think. I don't know. No. Well, this Joker is here, that's for sure, and which is not a good place for him to be. I mean, he's fine, he's perfectly safe, but that's not where you want him to be. But since I got the new Trick or Treat Studios mask, I've been kind of rocking it over there, thinking about changing that poster to a Halloween poster, because it would continue on nicely from this long Halloween shelf here. So, you know, don't know though, don't know what to do really. Like I said, I might move that stuff to where this stuff is, because I think that would look really, really cool, and then I could put the Hot Toys Joker back there again. And yeah, because this side was obviously kind of themed for the Dark Knight, and then this side over here was more themed towards Batman Begins, my favorite. So that worked quite nicely. And when you back up of it and just see the 4 bats, well, 5 technically, because he's up there chilling. That's a cool little statue. Batman just perched on a gargoyle cape, flapping in the wind. And that is a black velvet curtain there, just like the black velvet capes. Exactly the same. Really stealth. Alright, with the superhero side of things, we start off over here with the Advanced Suit Spidey from the Amazing game on PS4. And Hot Toys made him 1/6 scale, there he is. And they're making a whole bunch of the other suits as well. So that's cool for some of you, but I think I'm pretty much going to stick with this one, unless they do the Raimi suit, or, you know, I'd really love to see the classic suit as well, but we'll see how it goes. There's a couple of others I'd like, but not necessarily would want to get. Just, I ain't got the space, man. Where would I put them? So there he is, man. Like I said before in a live stream recently, he's a very 3D looking figure, and I know they're all 3-dimensional, they're all there, but it's just something about the detail, the color, the white. It's a very HD figure. It just is. You look at it and you think, wow, that's really alive. He leaped out of the screen, he's just standing there looking at me, you know. It's really, really impressive. Full top marks. I think I gave him in the review, check it out on the channel, but that is just a stunning piece. He doesn't even have to be doing anything. I haven't even posed him. I just left him standing there, because every time I, you know, do sort of look at him and he gets my attention, I just tend to just find myself appreciating, like I say, the HD sort of quality of the figure. Like the detail on the see, the camera's having trouble picking it up in the sort of artificial lighting in here right now, because here we are in the early hours of the AM. But the detail, even on the eyes, the white eyes, they're not just white, there's all the detail there. It's just
And look, not even the white is just a plain white. There's even a pattern on there. You have to get really close to see it, but that's what I mean. It's just an incredible piece. So there it is. And we're down one Harley, but she went to a really good home. Shout out to Irene and Mark if you're watching. Two awesome people, very good friends. And I'm glad that my precious Harley went to them, because, you know, I don't feel bad now, because I know she's in a good place. She's in a good spot. So there's my dancer one. Head sculpts have switched around because this look I just think really works. And the tongue is a custom tongue made by Andy Hibbs. And the Joker left her a rose before he left. And that's just an awesome looking figure, man. But I do think, you know, especially recently with finally getting my butt in gear and starting to shift some things on in order to make some space, which, as you can see, hasn't really made any difference. It's just, you know, I still got Wonder Woman down there. I won't bore you with that, but no one wants her, man. Awesome figure, but she's just still on the floor down there. But she is for sale. So get in touch if you want it. Comes with an amazing velvet custom hooded cloak. Be throwing that in. Well, if anyone wants the damn thing. But anyway, there's Harley. One of them. Don't really know if I necessarily need two, but how do I choose between... Obviously, if you're going to only have one, you kind of really just want the outfit everyone knows from Suicide Squad. But that looks better, I think. To me, I mean, you know, disagree all you want. To each his own. Look at that. It's friggin' very, very cool. Anyway, there's Harley. Here's the one with the real hair. All the tattoos. Still an amazing figure. I still think it's, you know, top... Well, there's a lot of figures, just Hot Toys related, but top 30? I think she'd make it into the top 30. I wouldn't say top 10. Come on, be serious. You got all kinds of contenders for the top 10 spot. Obviously, Robocop would be in there. That would be in there. He would be in there. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe a video for another time. My top 30, whether I don't necessarily have to own them, but what I think are the, like for instance, Yondu, like Hot Toys made him, and I don't own it, but I do think from what I've seen that would be a top 10 figure by them. Anyway, there you go. There's Harley's, and here is Selena Kyle, who, well, I won't bore you with that whole story, you know, the whole thing right now, but the leathery kind of fake leather on the boots and the long sections of the gloves started to crumble away and deteriorate. So I took it all away. There's a video showing you how I did it, and you know, the whole situation with that. Basically, I saved it and made them look more of a kind of a satin. Is that the word? No, not satin. Suede. They look more like just black suede now, because I haven't actually got round to buying the leathery kind of spray that apparently you can get to spray on stuff like this to give it a fake leather look. So I haven't got round to getting that stuff yet, but I'm still really happy with that kind of black suede look, especially for the boots. I just think it's really cool. It's kind of hot. I like it. Anyway, I'm glad I could save her, and I'm glad she's still on the shelf, because she certainly wouldn't be if I hadn't did what I done. Speaking of Catwoman, oh my goodness. Well, as far as these two go, the lighting in here doesn't really serve them very well right now. They should really be up on a higher shelf so that the light would hit their eyes and you can actually see, because you can't really see their actual eyeballs very clearly, especially on that one because she's really squinting because she's very aggressive. But I do have quite a few head sculpts. These two here were custom paint jobs from the Laboratory Effects on Facebook. Painted the whole face again. Really, really good job. I'm sure if you're familiar with the channel, you've seen it before. You may be sick of seeing it, but you got to consider this might be someone's first video on my channel. This might be their introduction to Dean Knight 333. Look at that, man. This one. That is incredible. Look at the job he did on the eyes. Those classic Catwoman green eyes. Repainted the lips. Gave her all these little freckles and all the detail. The camera's not even picking it all up, but it's there. It's crazy. But I'm not actually rocking those heads right now. I probably should. In fact, it's so easy to do. I could do it for you live right now. Go ahead and take that off. It's one that I did. Got hair coming out from underneath the mask. Repainted the eye makeup and the lips. So that's a cool kind of Arkham City kind of look that I think, well, that's what I was going for. I was trying to go for the Arkham City thing, but I didn't have the cojones to paint her blue eyes green. But that's what this head sculpt's for. It just goes on there like that. Yeah, it needs a little bit of a tweak. You've always got to do little adjustments and stuff, but yeah, that is absolutely awesome. But yeah, there's the Catwoman figures with an amazing custom outfit made by Gwyneth on Facebook, and it was based on the Adam Hughes look, which I absolutely love, and literally love. I would quite happily sever my left appendage for one night with this version of Selena Kyle. Yes, please. Anyway, let me get off my knees. Ooh, yeah. Various things. Stephen Maurice made that awesome diorama down there. And Glenn Page, Cult Creations on Facebook, made that amazing little diorama down there for your NECA Halloween figures. This is a big, great white shark I've had for many, many, many years. And I want to give it a repaint because I think the sculpt is really good. It just needs a better paint job. But it's huge. Like, let me... I guess this is... Would that be like a 1/6 scale? That is pretty much a 1/6 scale great white, isn't it? That would be interesting. A boss in a future Arkham game. Just a huge, hungry great white. Rah! I'm going to eat you for my din-dins. But that's an awesome piece, man. Just needs a repaint, that's for sure. I was waiting until I maybe got my airbrush, but still haven't got that damn thing. I don't want to go half-assed with the airbrush and get a cheap one. And to get a good one, you gotta put down some bucks. So, just put that on the old back burner for now. But here is the Joker little section here. The main Jokers, the ones that really count. You've got your Mark Hamill, Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson. I think that is a cool setup right there. Might make that the thumbnail because it just looks real pretty. But I love these three equally as far as, well, maybe not equally, but I love each three, the individual portrayals of the Joker character. Jack Nicholson scared the crap out of me when I was a little 8-9-year-old kid, and the game, you know, Arkham Asylum and City are friggin' amazing. Great stories, an incredible performance by Mark Hamill, even though it's just his voice, but you know, obviously they're inspired by what he does in the booth when he's recording because he really gets into it. But then there's obviously Heath Ledger, which was, you know, that's not the box that comes with that one, that's the DX11, but I wanted this box behind him because it's the right shape and size and in keeping with the rest of the box situation. We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, man, these three right here. Mark Hamill. And this is an amazing, perfect figure, really. I think this is pretty much a perfect release by Hot Toys. They nailed it. It doesn't come with that skull. That's belonging to, I believe, one of the Vampirellas, who again distract me with their seductive awesomeness. And anyway, back onto the Joker. But I like the pose. I like the way the weight of the gun is kind of dragging his wrist down like that, because that would be a heavy gun. And like how skinny he is. I love the everything about it, man. The outfit is perfect. Very, very happy they went ahead and made him. That is a keeper. Yep, that is an absolute keeper. And anyone on the fence, come on, man, seriously, why? This is essential. Look at that angle right there. He's alive. It's crazy. Yep, anyway, we've seen enough of the DX11. There he is. He's not doing anything really. He's just standing there. And the Jack Nicholson Joker, who I haven't really changed the pose on him at all, really. But that is still, to this day, a fantastic looking piece. There they are, the Jokers. Now, I've got to be honest, this last little section here is where things get very lazy on my part. I just wanted these guys on the shelf instead of scattered around the sort of floor. You know, after I sold some bits, I was finally able to put, you know, the Metal Gear stuff on here. Dread, Deadpool came over, and Scarecrow on the end there. But this is not finished. I need to figure what's going on here. I need to figure out. I haven't even posed them. They're literally just there. But there you go. That's the camo snake, which I had to put together myself because you can't really buy him. He's comprised of various parts. There are videos on the channel already covering how that was done, so just search him, type in Dean Knight 333 Metal Gear Solid camo, and I'm sure it'll come straight up. That's just what was left over, so I bought a third-party head, chucked that together. But that was the original figure that I had to get the actual sculpt and all the harness and weapons and knives. But yeah, there's the Playarts Kai Quiet, or however the Limb Toys Quiet is apparently not too far off, hopefully. So she'll be joining the crew. But I love that game, I love the Metal Gear games, I love David Hayter as Snake. It was really sort of heartbreaking when they changed that up for Phantom Pain, but it's still an amazing game. And there is Dredd, again, not really posed, but with Dredd you don't really need to, he's like Batman, you can just stand there, and he looks awesome. That's the Carl Urban Dredd. And that is an absolutely awesome piece with the grimace. It's not too over the top, but it is very cool. Got a custom decal there by Mr. Joe Turner. Awesome. The absolutely striking and very impressive and gorgeous and beautiful Hot Toys Justice League comic concept version 1/6 scale Wonder Woman figure played by Gal Gadot, but this is harking back to that Linda Carter classic look. So both, best of both worlds, really. Incredibly vibrant looking piece, very good. And I did put a fair amount of gel in the hair to calm it down and allow me to pose it in this way. Wanted just a little bit of hair coming down over her shoulder there, and the rest of it just flowing behind her naturally. So, and a huge tip of the hat, standing ovation, just very necessary acknowledgement to the Patreon member who wishes to remain anonymous, but they did an amazing thing and sent me this figure. So if you're watching, I absolutely love it, still to this day and always will. It's an amazing gift. Thank you so much. And then you got Deadpool. Nothing special really, he's just looking up, holding I was going to say samurai swords, the katanas. But yeah, I think Craig Gant supplied me with that base, I think. But yeah, still got him, still love him. And there is Scarecrow from Batman Begins. Not really posed up, just wanted him standing there looking all Scarecrowy, so there he is, doing that. But that is that shelf. And we'll move on to the Batman stuff, which a lot of you I'm sure are waiting for. I'll probably just skip to it, because you can do that, but it'd be better if you just watch the whole video. It helps me out, and it helps you if you like the video and all that crap, the algorithm. What is an algorithm? I'm sure it's some kind of technical doohickey that lurks within the inner bowels of YouTube. The Matrix. Look at that, man. Yeah, this phone, the Samsung Galaxy S8, does make that jacket or Joker's coat look completely the wrong color. I don't know why it does that. It's nowhere near that bright in person. It's weird. There's the incredible tweeter head Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman statue, 1/6 scale statue with a base that works great with the Hot Toys Michael Keaton figure. Either one really, but obviously it's meant for Batman Returns, so that works best. There is my Sideshow Collectibles 1/1 scale Endo Skull, very heavy, chrome plated, incredibly movie accurate, made from the same molds as the Endos from T2. Stan Winston Studios helped make it, so it's as good as it gets, man, as far as busts go. And one thing I've noticed on the life-size Sideshow, or any other company really, the full endoskeletons, the life-size ones, the heads never seem as detailed as this bust. It's like because they have to produce the whole thing, it's just there's not as much fine precision and passion put into this head. And because this is all they had to work on, just a neck and a head, and this was their sort of flagship kind of for a while, I mean, this is pretty much one of the best things they've ever done. And let me just, I think the batteries are still in there. Turn the eyes on. Incredible. But the sneer, that crazy kind of grin that it has, is absolutely perfect. That part of Terminator 2 at the beginning with the flames and the skulls just getting closer and closer. You got the old didn't.
Alright, so on to the Batman stuff. We'll start over here on this end. And there are some more scattered around the place or up in the attic, but these are the main ones just spread out here. We've got the Batman Hush by Medicom. That's a completely stock figure. You've seen it on the channel before, reviewed it many years ago, so that review is on the channel. Check it out. All these figures have reviews and unboxings and true light reviews outdoors in the natural light, and pose sessions and all kinds of stuff. This is just to show you what I got. That is the Batman Returns, the custom cape. To be honest, there's so many custom capes here, it gets really tricky trying to keep tabs on who made what. So, I mean, if you're really desperate to know who made this one, you could always type into YouTube D9333 Batman Returns custom cape, and I'm pretty sure that video will come up, and there you'll be able to find out who made it. But yeah, there's quite a few custom capes here. But that one, I mean, that's kind of essential. That's the look you want. The cape that comes with this figure is absolutely terrible. I just had an absolute nightmare trying to get it to look good, and I can't recommend a custom one like this enough. But like I said, check out the channel. The original video when I first got this cape is on there, and I just don't want to say who I think it is in case it's the wrong one. There's nothing worse than giving credit to the wrong person, but between Unreal Customs and Jackson XU, I've had some incredible capes, and they are the best in the business. And here is the 1989 Michael Keaton. It's a DX figure. It looks incredible to this day, just like the Jack Nicholson figure. They haven't aged a day, really. They're just very impressive pieces. Over here we have my pretty heavily modified Arkham Asylum. Well, he's the Arkham City Hot Toys figure, but I changed him into the HD remastered Asylum version of Batman. The black and grey rather than the blue and grey. I think that just looks awesome. And that cape is definitely a Jackson cape, I'm pretty sure of that. So, very, very nice. Did do the mods to get the arms to fall flat by his sides, because that just needed to be done eventually. Went ahead and did it, and it was very effective. It's a great head sculpt. And that's Kevin Conroy. So I did sell my Arkham Knight figures, the Arkham Knight suit and the Futura version. I just, you know, there's a few Batman figures here that don't pose very well, like those two, the Michael Keatons especially. You know, they're both pretty much the same. They just stand there, and it's a matter of getting the cape to look good, and then they just look fine, even though they can't really do much articulation-wise. The Arkham Knight Kevin Conroy figures were just, you know, couldn't do much with them pose-wise, and I was never a massive fan of that kind of suit. I definitely prefer a suit more like this, not quite as high-tech and all those different sections everywhere. I just like him a bit more simplified and brutal, and just, you know, I think brutal describes it quite well. But that is an amazing figure, man. Just got him looking so good now, so that's an absolute keeper. There's no doubt about it. Has a hell of a presence. Love the way the cape's kind of spreading out around him, just enough. Then we got the Armory Hot Toys Dark Knight. And that is not the box that comes with him. That was from Glenn Page at Cult Creations. I used to have this box, but stupidly threw it away many years ago. So thank you to Glenn Page for hooking up this box here. Just much prefer that, you know, the art box design for these particular, you know, figures that they did many years ago. But that is the most recent Hot Toys Dark Knight figure, the Armory version. And he does have a custom cape as well. I believe that's by Jackson as well. I get nervous every time I gotta say who makes the cape, but I think that's, yeah, I think that's a Jackson cape right there. And over here we have, wow, oh my goodness, that just looks friggin' amazing. I love this suit. You know by now, if you know me, that's my favorite Batman suit ever, the Batman Begins suit. That is the Jackson cape, and it's just incredible. Massive shout out to Derek Fagan. He actually sent me this figure a while back, and
I love it. Thank you so much, Derek. And the box behind him was from my buddy Nick. And I'm so glad to have that box now. It's just really in keeping. I just love it. But that looks amazing. It's absolutely awesome. I could film that all day. Just look at that, man. It's so cool. That looks amazing. Keep saying it, but it's true, man. Look at that. Love the side profile with the begin suit. Nothing like it. Just commands respect. Perfect balance between fear, intimidation, and heroic. Just kind of stoic, majestic power. Animal-like beastliness, demonic. So many things, man. You just see it. And it's like the Michael Myers mask, the way you say, you know, when you look at that thing, it's so blank, but yet you project your own fears onto it and, you know, you see what you want to see. I feel the same way about this Batman Begins outfit. It's just amazing. Alright, but keeping with Batman Begins, then you got the Demon from the same film, obviously. And there's a custom velvet cape which I put together myself. It's all nasty and burnt and melted. And that is an amazing figure. Not many people have that in the collection. I very rarely see that when I watch collection videos on YouTube, which I do like to do every now and then. There they are together. They look very cool. And then we have the League of Shadows, the ninja look for Bruce Wayne. Now obviously this is by Pop Toys and it's the Shadow Ninja, obviously meant to be the League of Shadows, and it's actually comes with a Liam Neeson head sculpt, so it's a Ra's al Ghul figure really, but I used a head sculpt that Nick gave me for what was it now, the Headplay Christian Bale head sculpt from a good few years ago, but it's great likeness and perfect for Batman Begins because I think it's from that movie. It looks like a younger Christian Bale from Batman Begins, but he is under that ninja mask. That is Christian Bale. I love the sword, got it in the movie accurate position, the armor, the sculpt on the gauntlets. Massive shout out and tip of the hat to Mr. Alex McPhee if you're watching. He's the one who sent this along. Quite a few of my figures are from, you know, fellow friends and YouTubers and Facebookers and patrons and all that good stuff, man. Just amazing people in the community. Just took my collection to another place. Yeah, man, it's an amazing looking figure. You know, Batman Begins is my favorite film pretty much, so just really cool to have this very thoughtful gift from Alex. Thank you so much, man. But there's the main three from Batman Begins. Incredible. And then we got some of the Afflecks, not all, but some. There's only so much space on the shelf, so I have to switch it up from time to time and switch things around. But there you have the modified, the Joker Imposter figure by Hot Toys, which I did change into, you know, Ben Affleck in the suit rather than the Jared Leto Joker in the suit, which is how it actually comes. But I changed it into Ben Affleck has killed the Joker and gone a little bit crazy. There's a whole story behind it. It's on the channel. He's had his own videos, pretty graphic to be honest, but check them out if you want. You want to find out more about why he looks like this and the story behind it. It's all on the channel. It's an amazing looking piece, and I put a lot of work into this, and I've never really seen another one like it. It's definitely worth showing you the cape at the back. I believe this was a Jackson XU cape as well. When I spray painted it, look at the color, man. It's absolutely friggin' awesome. It's not just purple. There's a lot going on here. Look at the mud, all the scrapes and rips and nastiness. I mean, this isn't Batman anymore, man. He's at his darkest point. He's gone. This is something else. This is something you definitely, you know, you wouldn't want this turning up even in your darkest hour. He'd only make it worse. This is something to be feared. Anyway, there he is. He's on the channel, so you can check out more of him if you wish. And then we have
the Hot Toys Dawn of Justice regular Batman suit, and the Unreal Customs cape, which is one of their older capes, but it's my absolute favourite. Shout out to Sean again, who was after one of these. I hope he manages to get one. But that is an incredible looking piece. That's a keeper, no doubt about it. Fair amount of mods have been done to this guy. You can check that out on the channel to get him to look how he's looking now. Quite a few modifications were necessary. Then we got the Nightmare Batman and the Armored Batman. And I've run out of space on my phone, so I'm going to have to go transfer this footage and come back. But that's pretty much it for the Batman shelf. Moving on to Mikey. Now when it comes to the Myers collection, guys, I really have quite recently covered the full Myers collection in a big video, so not much has actually changed here since I filmed that, and it was very recently, so I'm going to breeze through this because I really don't want to draw this out. It's already going to be like an hour-long video. I was trying to get it down to a shorter version, but very tricky to do that. But all this has been covered very recently on the channel, so I'll be revisiting all this again soon. There's plenty of reasons to do that. I've got a bunch of knives coming from Fergo, best in the business when it comes to these scaled down weaponry. And what else? Got the quarter scale NECA. That will be coming pretty soon, thanks to John out there in America. He's going to hook that up. And I'll give him a huge shout out when that gets here, man. Can't believe someone's good enough out there in America to get me one of those NECA figures nice and quick. There's the One's Customs keyring that I repainted. And done some work on the hair. Just wanted like just for display really. Just a clean version of the mask before he buried it. And then all those years later he returned, dug it up. The floorboards. And there's some cool coveralls there by Tanila. The weaponry by Dave. Tanila's Customs, One's Customs head sculpt. And big body. Very, very cool. There's the Ultimate 78, still in the same pose as before. Yep. Quarter scale Rob Zombie. Myers, the first one. And two custom figures from the second Rob Zombie Myers film. Hobo and the hospital scene. And the NECA 7-inch figure, which is really, really cool. There's the Mezco, the little guy, and then the Bob that you can get with it as well. There's the original 7-inch 78 Myers, but I did completely rehair it. Just change the way it looks a little bit. These cool little badges, them from Trick or Treat Studios. This is a very recently just kind of bashed together with spare parts Halloween 2018 version. Got blown off fingers. Just checking that out. He's got the bell chain, that's from Tanila's Customs. The knife, that one's by Tanila's Customs as well. This is the 3-0 coveralls. They're dyed, weathered, really weathered quite heavily. And various Blu-rays in the back. They've just released this again. I knew they were going to do that. They just keep releasing more and more versions. It's the same disc, same special features, but just in a different box. And I kind of want it, but I don't know. Don't want to go too silly with the different versions of the movie. I'll probably do it anyway. This is just an amazing custom 2018 Myers Legio 7 head sculpt rehaired. And then I repainted the mask myself. Coveralls by Tanila, hand with the fingers blown off. That hand is by David Tucker at C Creations. That knife is that's by Tanila as well. Tanila, Dave at Tanila's Customs. But I am expecting the Fergo version of this to come very soon, so I can't wait to sort that out. There's that Myers again. And the Creep Customs 2018 Myers. And John Pearson made these pumpkins. John Pearson on Facebook, there he is. There's that Myers I reworked. I mean, you know, I got plans for the quarter scale when that comes.
I want to do some things to it, make it look really, really cool. I mean, it already looks fantastic, but I do want to repaint the mask. Thinking about rehairing it, but I might leave the hair the way it is on the quarter scale. We'll see how it goes. Eventually, I'm going to try and get a second one. That one I can really mess around with, but I don't want to go too crazy with this first one I'm getting because I'm a bit worried about messing stuff up, but we'll see how it goes. Here's another 2018 1/6 scale custom figure. And more John Pearson pumpkin action. There is the quarter scale custom 1978 Michael Myers. Not many of those in the world. A few of them out there. It's absolutely incredible. And then we just got the big guys over here, the two life size. Now, obviously, one of them is finished-ish, not totally finished. I'm waiting for the coveralls to come. I had a bit of a mishap with recent delivery from Trick or Treat Studios where they sent the correct mask, the correct badges, but they sent me the wrong coveralls. I ordered the 2018 coveralls and they sent the 78 ones. But I got in touch and I let them know, and they're actually really cool. They got back in touch and they said, we're sending your correct coveralls out right now. Keep those ones as a, just keep them for the inconvenience. And, we hope that you, come back and shop with us again. And they were really cool. So fair play to Trick or Treat Studios. They did mess up my order, but they were very, very prompt to correct things. And they were very nice about it as well. So now, this newly released classic 1978 mask, it's absolutely amazing. But I was going to do this myself, and I'm still in two minds about. I know that I'm getting another one of these Trick or Treat Studios masks from the 2018 film because I saw a really good deal online and I got one half price. So that's coming, and I'm sending that off to a guy in the UK. I'll tell you more about that in the future. But I was going to send this as well, but I kind of want to do this one myself because I don't think the actual mask itself needs that much doing to it. I mean, I am going to weather it, but it's the hair that was making me think I need to send this to a professional because it needs someone who knows what they're doing to fix this or replace it completely, which is probably the best way to go. But I did see a video today on YouTube of someone fixing this hair by literally just using the white latex paint, and they just put some white latex paint on there and then push the hair forward and put it on top and it sticks, and then it completely hides this ugly kind of glue line or whatever you want to call that, and it just made it look 10 times better. And I thought to myself, well, if I just copy that with the hairline technique and then just do my weathering, I think I can get this looking pretty damn good myself. But like I say, I'm definitely sending off my new 2018 mask to the chap in the UK to redo it. He's amazing. I'll show you all about that as things start to get closer to actually happening. But this one, I'm still in two minds to send it off to a professional or maybe tackle it myself. It would be nice to do it myself because I'd be very, proud of it, and it would just be a different feeling when I look at it because I think, wow, I actually did this one myself rather than, different people. That was a weird noise, wasn't it? Different people have done various, things. Like that's a nag mask over there. That's incredible. That's a really, really expensive custom piece right there, like a movie replica. An amazing mask. And this one just gives off a different vibe, though. I love the sculpt on this. It does remind me very much of certain scenes in the film. But it would be nice to tackle this one myself. And I am still deciding on what to do. I'm not rushing in, and I haven't done anything to this yet. Just literally taking a moment to think about it. Give it some time. And, I mean, that just looks amazing. I mean, even though they're not the correct coveralls, they still look really good. I mean, they look like the right color as they appear on most of the scenes in the film, even though it's not really that color. But that's always the way with the best Myers movies. It's just the raging debate about colors of coveralls, like the original one. There you go. But that was Mike in Germany who reworked this one. Did an amazing job. And that's the stock hair as well. I don't know how he got the stock hair to look like that. It's really, really nasty looking, just like in the movie. Alright, so that's the Myers stuff. Give you a quick shot of these. Nothing's changed over here. Same as last time I showed you. That's the Hot Toys Batman Begins with a Jackson XU cape. And that is the Hot Toys
Dark Knight Rises Batman, also with a Jackson XU cape. And over there, the Entebbe Batman, same as usual. And the kind of Frankenbat, which is the NECA quarter scale Batman Begins body with an Entebbe cowl and Entebbe belt, with the cape is also just a stock NECA cape, but he's on the Hot Toys base. And then over here we have the Prime 1 Catwoman statue, which is just a truly stunning piece and an amazing thing to behold. Some Buxton sparkling water, there you go. And well, there's a few bits and pieces. You got Superman, nowhere really to put him, so he just kind of hangs out here because his box is huge and wouldn't work on the shelf with the rest of the figures. There's the oh damn, who made this? Kotobukiya, was it? I forget. But anyway, that's one of the most amazing aliens ever made. There's a little Tomb Raider figure, Great White Shark. Still need to find a home for Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy. There's Agent 47 hiding behind the TV. That's a very cool little shot right there. And oh, we have the NECA Iron Man quarter scale, very cool. Spider Gremlin, some tool stuff, some amazing t-shirts. I'll need to find somewhere to put you, don't mind, Mrs. Tomb Raider. That's an awesome figure, I love that. CDs, oh, and there's Michelle Pfeiffer chilling on the floor. Some other bits and pieces. That's an awesome Predator t-shirt, forget about it. That's an amazing American Werewolf in London t-shirt, love that. What else? Over here, well, more stuff. None of this is set up properly. I'm just trying to make it work, trying to fit all my stuff in here. Just make it a nice place to chill and just all the memories of all the cool stuff. And there's Pumpkinhead. I will repaint him one day. I again have to put that on the back seat for now. Just let it chill for a bit, but there he is. Look at that. Oh, looks like he's coming for you around the bloody tripod. And a few other bits and pieces, Catwoman, Chucky, vinyls and gizmos and comics and VHSs. And there's the big chap. NECA brought him out again recently. They've tweaked a few things. I'm going to stick with this one, I guess. There's some more awesome t-shirts, these two in particular. Very nice. Alright, that's it. Baseball bat up there. Pearl Jam poster, my first concert back in '96, Wembley Arena. Awesome. Favorite horror movie, Dog Soldiers. Life-size Myers. And as I mentioned before, it's a Nag mask. It's the 78 Nightmare. And it's absolutely incredible. And the chameleon coveralls that sort of change colour as you get further away. Just they just go dark. It's crazy. That's it. That's the lot. That's all of it. That's all the stuff in the room. Well, not all the stuff in the room. There's a lot up there. Anyway, thanks for watching. All right. Well, that was very long. There's no way to do well, maybe there is a way to do a short version of these videos, but I mean, when folks say they want to see me sort of going through and talking about each figure sort of individually and, you know, what I was thinking when I posed it like that and all this stuff, then it kind of ends up being a long video when you gather all this stuff over about 11 years worth of collecting. This certainly wasn't achieved, you know, in a couple of years. It was over a decade. So there you go. Big love to all you guys. Thanks for sticking with me. And thanks for all the comments and the interactions, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Check me out on there. And I'll see you real soon. I'll be back with more goodies for you in the very near future. There's quite a few good things coming up on the channel. Especially if you're into the Michael Myers side of things. There's stuff that I haven't even told you about that's on the way very soon. So, yeah, keep it locked. And have a good one. See you real soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.